Hello and welcome back to more Penny Dreadful. We are running back the same list with a couple changes that I mentioned. The first, probably the most notable, is we're running Spikefield Hazard as a 4 of now. And this is because basically our deck, the biggest issue we had was twofold. It was first dealing with like very early aggressive decks. So Spikefield Hazard helps with that. You just like ping their 1/1s and they die. The other is running out of win conditions, right? You could accidentally use all 4 Glacial Ray, so just having like one Spikefield Hazard in your deck, which you can hit them for like 4 damage with a bunch of Pyromancer Ascensions, is a good way to just make sure you don't automatically lose to things like that. And also, this helps you put more card types into your graveyard for Pyromancer Ascension, because it's a land that you can like discard to Frantic Search in the later game, and then like just cast a Spikefield Hazard that you top deck, trigger Pyromancer Ascension, and that's huge. Because I think the biggest issue we had was just getting 4 counters on Ascension. I don't think we whiffed once when we had an active Pyromancer Ascension, which is really awesome. The other thing we did was we added 3 counterspells to the main deck. I was running Expansion Explosion. Those were okay, but Counterspell just gives us some amount of interaction. I don't want 4 because you don't really want a 2 counterspell hand. Basically, we want to counter like one thing and then go off. That's how this deck wants to work. And if we do Fizzle, then we'll draw into like another counterspell, right? Like we'll draw a lot of our deck. Then we just pass the 2 blue up, counter their thing, untap, and go off again. So that's the idea. I could see cutting a Frantic Search now that we have Counterspell, because we don't need to go off as quickly. And Frantic Search is good if you're trying to go off quickly. Not as good in the later game. You know, you don't really need it to win because Psychic Puppetry does dirty things. The other thing is Evermind we might replace with the Treasure Cruise. That I could see like just doing this switch. But for now we're going to try 2 in the main deck because holding up mana, casting like Reach Through Mist, Evermind, and then Counterspell seems good. Sideboard, I changed a bit. I put in Sweltering Suns. It comes down a turn earlier, and it doesn't kill our Glorybringers or our Saheeli. So that seems better than Storm's Wrath. And then I think I added like a Sprite Dragon, and I cut one of the black spells for Nihil Spellbomb, because now we have 1 Dimir Aqueduct. So we technically can get card draw for Nihil Spellbombs. But you really just run it to X out graveyards. You don't really need the card draw, but it is nice. That's the deck. We're just going to run through another league, and I'll see how it works. See you guys there. All right, we're playing against Jenkin5630. Tell opponent good luck, and we got a mulligan this one. Got a bounce land, but we're on the draw anyway. This hand's just way better. We get to keep. Let's see. How many untapped lands do I want? I kind of want to have the temple, so I guess I'm just gonna put back an island. Aw, man. Okay, different deck. Whenever I see Yavimaya Coast, I'm just assuming I'm playing against Hermit Druid. Let's do Taxing Probe and see what's going on. So I need to know Thief of Sanity, Dead Weight, Binding the Old Gods. Okay. So they only have 1 card in their hand that actually does anything, and we get to Frantic Search with Boilerworks. Oh, and we have Glacial Ray too. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy matchup. This is the benefit of playing a creatureless deck. Like, Binding the Old Gods, I mean, I guess they can play it, but it doesn't do anything. They play a Swamp. They can crack Vessel as well. So there's a little bit going on there. We are just going to get down our bounce land, I think. I could have Taxing Probed, but I think I would rather just save it for the information. Given what I'm seeing so far, I'm not very concerned about what my opponent is doing. So, Yavimaya Coast, Forbid, Opulent Palace. Oh, I see. They get Thief of Sanity. Okay, so now they have 2 Thief of Sanities. Now it's a little bit sketchier, because I only have 1 Glacial Ray. Spikefield helps. I know their hand, but... Oh, you know what I can... No, I can't do that this turn. I was thinking I could Frantic Search into Splice, but I don't have 3 lands. I only have 2. So let's probe and see if I can hit some action. Because our 1-mana Arcane, dismiss all these. So they draw Nezahal. Okay. Thought Scour. Yeah, I guess we just kill this and then hope to find an answer soon. Put that on the bottom. Because, yeah, I couldn't Frantic Search and gain mana. I have 3 mana worth of lands. Play the second Thief. So I could draw a second Spikefield Hazard, I could draw another Glacial Ray, or a million Thought Scours. At this point, let's go land Frantic Search. We do have an Ascension. Okay, so I could discard a Thought Scour and a Temple. Untap these. Play my Ascension. Oh, wait. Ooh. They have Binding the Old God, so if we play Ascension, we better be going off that turn. Thief is gone. Yeah, I think I want to... Oh, it's hard. I think I'm going to wait on the Ascension for a second. We're going to peer through depths. There's our Glacial Ray. And a Reach Through Mists. I guess I take this Glacial Ray. Put the rest on the bottom. And then we kill this. And pass turn. They play Vessel. So now we know their hand. It's Deadweight Nezahal, who costs 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're a ways away. I could opt, but I kind of want to wait until post Thought Scour to opt. There's a Boiler Works. That's quite nice. So we can bounce this island. And we're playing things slow. I guess, yeah, Binding the Old Gods is good against the Ascension. They correct Vessel and grab another Vessel. Okay. Right. That was a good move. Exiling all my stuff. Okay. Let's Thought Scour ourselves. Draw another Spikefield Hazard. I guess at this point I do want to opt. Psychic Puppetry we probably want to keep. There's another Peer Through Depths which got exiled. So I can go Pyromancer's Ascension, Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry, and then I have to hit something. This is tough. I think I actually want to wait one more turn. Mostly I'm just not scared of all their creature-based removal. The opponent's going to cast Lockmere Serpent. Let's end of turn Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry, tapping down their blue. So with my graveyard right now, there's Thought Scour, Opt, Probe, Counterspell. I guess I probably just want to grab another Peer Through Depths. Tap this down, yes. Then we can Spikefield Hazard their face. And now we go off. Play the Ascension. We can Thought Scour ourselves. Because there's a Thought Scour in our graveyard. Easy ability, always yes. Always yield. Ooh, and we draw another Puppetry. That's fantastic. So we get to now Spikefield Hazard them. This is up to 2. Now we can Puppetry, targeting our Boiler Works. With an active Ascension. Target the other one, sure. Tap, so we get mana. And tap. Now we Peer Through Depths, Splicing Puppetry, untapping this. And in all likelihood, we should be able to win from here. We look at the top 10 cards, get a bunch of mana. Okay. I do have to hit something. Untap here, yes. Okay, deck. Evermind, Reach Through Mist. Frantic Search. I guess we want Evermind, because we can Puppetry, Splicing Puppetry. I don't have enough blue, let's just get Reach Through Mist. Putting Frantic Search, then the rest. Reach Through Mist, Splicing Puppetry. Okay, and now we have Opt, I think we're okay. Untap yes, Reach Through Mist, Splicing Puppetry. We just gotta find, we have a couple more Glacial Rays in our decks. There's our Glacial Ray, and now we're doing it. So we Glacial Ray, or no. We Peer Through Depths, Splicing Glacial Ray, targeting them, Splicing Puppetry, targeting this, and that should be enough. Well, you know, eventually we're gonna win from here. Grabbing our other Glacial Ray, mana, grabbing Reach Through Mists, untap. Now we go Reach Through Mists, Splicing Puppetry on this. Double Glacial Ray on them. They're going to take like 8 from this. And they concede, which, yeah, they should. I definitely have lethal here. So they're just Sultai control with a lot of removal-esque type things. Spellbomb could be good against them. They're probably going to have Spellbombs against us, I imagine. I'm not a fan of these Spikefield Hazards, although they did trigger Pyromancer Ascension there. So maybe they're good. I think I want 1 copy of Counterflux. 1 copy of... I don't even know if I want Glorybringers. They do deal with Thief of Sanities. But this, honestly, I think I just get rid of a Spikefield Hazard. This feels like a matchup that's pretty much in my favor. I'm just going to try it as it is and see what happens. Well, it'd be nice to have lands. Got to mulligan this one. It's always rough. Oh no, the double Boiler Works. I can't keep it. Okay, this hand's good. We'll keep this. I can get rid of basic Island, but then I can't have up Counterspell, but I guess I get rid of Island, and I guess Frantic Search is pretty good for Pyromancer Ascensioning quickly. I do have a bounce land as well, so it generates mana, but it's card disadvantage, and I don't think I can afford card disadvantage here. Okay, that's a lot of, you know, at this point I will top the Frantic Search. I have double Boiler Works, or bounce lands. We play Vessel, that's fine. Let's get down our Opt. Temple we don't need. Ditaxian Probe. I'm not going to cast just yet. Let's bounce this temple. I'd like to save Gitaxian Probe for as long as possible so I have more information. I think I'm getting hit by a Hymn to Torok here, which is going to be brutal. Yeah. No! They hit my land! Oh god. And my Ascension? That was oh god. Alright. Probe it up. I was saving it, but I don't have a land to bounce. They have another Hymn to Torok? And a Binding the Old Gods? Oh man. Go ahead. Sniping my temple was disgusting. Now they're gonna hit both my bounce lands. And I can't counter magic either. They hit my Pyromancer! Come on! Okay, we get another temple. Glacial Ray, we're gonna bottom. I can't believe they hit both Pyromancer's Ascensions. Return to Nature, Binding the Old Gods. They do have Artifact Enchantment and Graveyard interaction. They can't get that, they just grab a Binding the Old Gods. They play Thief of Sanity. Yeah, this is pretty brutal. I should have kept Glacial Ray, I guess. Peer Through Depths. So, I think we're gonna play this bounce land. And then Frantic Search with it on the stack to get more mana. Or I can bounce Temple. I get less mana, but I get to discard a Temple. That's actually, I think, a bit better. Yeah, one less mana, but plus one card. Discarding Temple, and honestly, Counterspell seems pretty bad here. And then we Peer Through Depths and just hope to hit it. We can also hit a Psychic Puppetry. It'd be slower, but... Gitaxian Probe, Frantic Search. I'll take a Probe. There's another Ascension on the bottom. That's not great. Probe. They've Returned to Nature, double Binding the Old Gods. Probe again. The land. Alright, I think we're dying here. I'm getting information about their deck though, and it seems like Sprite Dragon is probably going to be good. In fact, do I just concede to the Thief of Sanity? No, I'll let them hit me once. I'll see what they get. Oh god. Glacial Ray was the literal next card. Oh man. Alright, let's Thought Scour myself. There is a Glacial Ray. They'll land on their upkeep. We're going to reach through Mist, killing the Thief. We get another Thief. What is Titan's Nest? At the beginning of our upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card in your graveyard. Exile a card from your graveyard, add colorless, only to spend X. What X cards are they casting here? They keep Thief of Sanity. That makes sense. So their hand is like Binding, Return to Nature. Oh no, they keep Nezahal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're not really close to casting Nezahal. Okay. On upkeep, cast this, splicing this, kill this. They took my counterflow. Alright. Enough for me. Oh man. Okay. They have a lot of Return to Nature type things, but I think we can overload them with Sprite Dragons now. And I feel a bit better about Glorybringer given that they're playing Thief of Sanity. I almost want to take out some Pyromancer's Ascensions, but they are kind of necessary for winning with this deck. We could bring in Saheeli. She has a fine win con as well. A lot of cards to cut. We're going to remove a Frantic Search. I think I want to bring in a Treasure Cruise actually, because it looks like we're going to be playing the card advantage game, which I think my deck is quite good at. I could remove all the Ascensions. You know what? No more Pyromancer's Ascensions. I'm just trying this. I don't know if this is optimal. It's something I just want to see how it works. Given that, I guess we can get rid of some Psychic Puppetries and bring in some Nihil Spellbombs. Puppetry's fine, but Spellbomb, I guess it doesn't really cycle for a card. So never mind. We'll keep the Puppetry. I only have one black card in my deck. I could keep one Pyromancer's Ascension in the deck and get rid of one Psychic Puppetry. Nah, no Ascensions. We're going all in. Let's run it like this. On the play. I have Thought Scour. It's risky, but I will keep this hand. Because if I draw another land, then this hand's fantastic. Let's scour ourselves. Oh no. Probe them. Really hoping to hit a land. Yeah, they have double Return to Nature, which is actually a dead card. And I do draw a land. Nice. I like this sideboarding plan. They do have double Hymn to Torok, but they're not going to have double black. They drew a Vessel. Oh, they can Unmoored Ego naming Pyromancer's Ascension. They're going to see 0 in the deck. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm just going to cast this No Splice. I draw another? Sure. What are you doing, deck? I kind of want to Psychic Puppetry their Opulent Palace on upkeep, and then I can Treasure Cruise. Or I could just reach through Mists again. Do that. Okay, I draw a Sprite Dragon. They currently don't have any cards that deal with that. I hope they just jam Unmoored Ego. Just cast it. You gotta. Naming Pyromancer's Ascension? Naming Pyromancer's Ascension? They could also name Glacial Ray, and that might be better. Yeah! Got him. Nice thing you got going on there. Oh, that feels good. Sweet. Land. Psychic Puppetry. So, their hand is... They played one of those lands. Show game log. That's so good. They played you off of my coast. So their hand is Hymn to Torak, Return to Nature, Forest. I can Treasure Cruise, but I think I like just casting Sprite Dragon. It's really good against Hymn to Torak. Like, they can Hymn to Torak me, I don't care, and then I just have counter spells. They have to draw a dead weight, like, literally this turn, and I don't know why they would have those in their deck anymore. Crack Vessel. So they do get a swamp, so they can Hymn to Torak. And then they can Binding my Sprite Dragon. So we'll see. They do take swamp. So these here don't have anything too good. Here through depths counterspell. Okay, because we can Psychic Puppetry, locking them off of too much. And there's an island. So now I have counterspell available. Just attack for 1. Wait, did they not take Binding? Show game log. Oh right, they took swamps. They don't even have Binding of the Old Gods. They're just gonna Hymn to Torak. You know, I did this wrong, but it's okay. I do 1 less damage here. And I think I am going to Psychic Puppetry their Opulent Palace on upkeep. Tap this, yes. Because now they cannot cast their second Hymn to Torak. Did they just top deck that? Come on! Oh man, alright, that was a good top deck. They didn't take that off the Vessel of Nascency, so they must have drawn that off the top. Aqueduct I don't want. Okay, go ahead. We counterspell Hymn to Torak. Their hand is Return to Nature, and I think an unknown now at this point. Play Temple. Bottom that. Last turn. We can Peer Through Depths. Yeah, them top decking that Binding was pretty brutal. They draw Thief, that's fine. We can Peer Through Depths, Splicing Glacial Ray to kill the Thief. And we're gonna grab, I guess, another Peer Through Depths. There's an Evermind. Go ahead. So now we can Peer Through Depths, Splicing Evermind. And I guess Psychic Puppetry, because why not? Tapping their Swamp thing. Grab Opt. I don't really need a Thought Scour. We can play, I guess we can Opt now. Glacial Ray I will put on top actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can Temple. Glorybringer is perfect. Last turn. We can Glorybringer with Counterflux backup. And I kind of want a Glacial Ray Splicing Evermind. Jenkins sent me a chat, they just conceded. Yeah, that was perfect sideboarding. Oh, that was so good. I'm so happy with that sideboarding. They even top decked like their 1 possible draw when I had Sprite Dragon out, and it didn't matter because I think we had enough Arcanes just to Glacial Ray them out of the game. Oh, I love this deck. I love this deck. See you guys next round. All right, we're playing against Host J877. I believe, I could be wrong. I think this might have been the person with that crazy Goblins deck that just destroyed me last time. So let's have a good game against them. We'll go first. And I'll keep this hand. It's hard to mulligan a hand with Pyromancer Ascension, and like, if we hit a single blue source, or red source even, any land really, and our hand's just good to go. So we're going to lead with Gitaxian Probe, paying life, and then we can decide whether we want to opt or whatever. I think generally in situations like this, you want to opt before you Thought Scour, because you're just trying to hit a land, and opt lets you see 2 cards, whereas Thought Scour lets you just see 1. So we opt first. Also, opting here, because we have a second copy of Opt in our hand, is better if we land Pyromancer Ascension turn 2, because now we have this in our graveyard with a duplicate. Oh, well, hey, I think it's funny that I mentioned that. And then they are playing Chancellor of the Forge nonsense. I love it. This might be the run back of them just destroying me with goblins. Let's see what's in their hand. They did mulligan. Twin Flame, Seething Song, Goblin Dark Dwellers, Chancellor of the Forge. So it feels like, at least currently... Ooh, there's our Temple. I think actually now we just play Temple. It feels like if I can counterspell... Do I want a 3rd land? Ideally, it would be a bounce land. I think I bottomed this land. My deck can operate pretty well in 2 mana. They're not going to threaten me until turn 3. So I get to go land, they play land, I go land Ascension, they go land. Yeah, I'm going to bottom this. It's a little bit greedy, but I have so much card draw that I can find better lands, and ideally bounce lands make going off so much easier. Their opponent plays a mountain. We take 1. Okay, yeah, now we draw Temple, and now we can spend 2 mana to play Ascension, because I haven't seen anything for 2 mana from them that's that scary. They go Mountain. They're also missing a 3rd land, and I think they only have 1 Chancellor of the Forge. Okay, now we have Island, so we are going to play Temple. Just holding up Counterspell this turn. If they go like Seething Song, Goblin Dark Dwellers, we can counter it. And I will keep a Psychic Puppetry. I actually want that card. There's a chance I could go off, but I don't really feel the need to try for it, because I'm taking 1 a turn, and like, the more turns we get, just the better things get. Okay, so they're passing turn, so we know the top card, but we're going to opt into it anyway. Putting that on top. Now we can opt again, triggering Pyromancer Ascension. Learning to stack my triggers now, that should speed things up. I guess, I don't know where to put this. My stack's over here for some reason. Frantic Search. It's okay with Ascension. I have a land in hand I might want to discard, but I'm actually going to bottom that, I think. Perfect. Extra opt is very nice. That's a lot of opts. So let's opt. So now Ascension is online. Evermind. That lets us Psychic Puppetry Evermind. That basically guarantees us like unlimited card draw. But I think I can bottom that because I have a lot of card draw anyway. There's our Boilerworks. Okay, this worked out really well. We play Boilerworks. I'm not actually going to try and go off this turn. We're just going to pass with Counterspell available. We can like Thought Scour opt at end of turn. So the Seething Song, I think I let that resolve because I have double Counterspell. So if they do go for like, yeah, now we counter this. We get to counter it twice even. Easy ability, yes. Counter the Dark Dwellers. And now, I mean, we're going to draw our whole deck. I could have probably gone off this turn, but there was no rush. I honestly don't even have to go off this turn. Let's opt and see what happens. Always yes to this. That's a lot of counter magic. I don't want that many. Feels silly for bottoming that Frantic Search now. Psychic Puppetry gives us a ton of mana, so I guess I can put that on top. And then I can play land and Thought Scour myself. Or I guess at this point I could Thought Scour them just to see what's going on. And they could consider conceding here because now they're out Seething Song Dark Dwellers. Yeah, I think conceding there just makes sense. I just wanted a bit more deck information. I was going to draw Peer Through Depths and just win from there. So they are playing that. This is a great matchup for counter magic, I believe. I don't need to change too much, but I think I probably want to go up to all 4 counter spells and go down on... Psychic Puppetry can tap down their lands, but that doesn't help too much. So I guess I go down on Psychic Puppetry because I already have Frantic Searches. I could bring in 1 copy of like a Sprite Dragon just in case things get out of hand. I like have a failsafe. They're mono red. I don't think mono red is gonna have too much of an answer to what we're doing. I'm gonna just keep the Ascensions. Well, this hand is quite slow. I don't have turn 2 counterspell available because basically they go turn 3 Seething Song, win the game is most likely the case, and there's no hope of that and very little hope of a turn 3 counterspell either. The rest of the hand is I'm gonna keep this and just hope that their deck is less consistent this time than the last time we played it. They have no Chancellor of the Forge, which is also good. If we just draw a blue source, things get better. Thought Scour is not as good, so let's play this. Pass. They do nothing. We have to discard, which is not ideal. Bounce this. I'm going to discard. I have 2 Thought Scours, so I guess I can discard 1 of them. And if they go off this turn, they got me. Yep. Goblin Dark Dwellers is a dirty card. Copy Seething Song, cast another Goblin Dark Dwellers. You can Twin Flame the Dark... Oh! Okay, they said no. We draw Temple. Okay, there's still hope. Do I want Frantic Search now? I have another copy. I do have a Spikefield Hazard that I probably would like to discard, but I think I will just bottom this. Play to land this turn. Yeah, we're just gonna bottom that because we're just digging for, like, basically keeping Frantic Search to dig further is like not the best thing because you could just dig further. And they're doing nothing. I like that. So let's go ahead and Thought Scour ourselves. Boilerworks, we milled an Ascension. You hate to see it. But now I have Counterspell available. I am taking some amount of damage, but I can reach through Mists plus Psychic Puppetry the Dark Dwellers. I should have done that on upkeep, but I think it's okay. Actually, I need another blue to be able to do that while holding up Counterspell. Yeah, so we do just take the 4. End of turn I can Frantic Search, but given this many Spike Field hazards, I think I'm just going to go land pass. And now we can reach through Mists Puppetry. Reach through Mist Puppetry, tapping down Goblin Dark Dwellers. And then we still have Counterspell available. Tap this, yes. We will let Seething Song Rezong, and here's where the counterspells really work for us. It's just so sweet being a Storm deck that like has a bunch of control elements. And there's the Ascension. Can I go off from this position? Definitely casting the Ascension. I think I do want to Frantic Search. Discarding a Spike Field hazard. Is there an Optima Graveyard? There is not. So Spike Field hazard can get 1 trigger. I kind of want to discard Glacial Ray, I don't know. I guess I could also discard Psychic Puppetry, but that seems actually pretty important. Let's discard a Glacial Ray, then untap 3 lands. I don't think I'm dying this turn, so I could wait. Let's Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry on Izzet Boilerworks. Oh, Counterspell is actually pretty nice. Yeah, I'll just grab that. Then we want Probe, Puppetry, Bounce Land, untap this, yes. We pass turn. We take 4, but now we have Counterspell available. And if they cast anything, Counterspell triggers Ascension. They cycle a Forgotten Cave. They cast Scarred Prospector. Honestly, I think I just Counterspell that to get Ascension going. Then we Spike Field Hazard their face, trigger Ascension. And let's see what Opt can bring us. Double Opt. Always yes, always yield to that one. Peer Through Depths is perfect. Island is bad. A second copy of Pyromancer's Ascension seems pretty good. We can go land, Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry on Izzet Boilerworks. Always yes to this, always yes to this, and always yield to these. Same targets. And we'll get a Reach Through Mists, putting Glacial Ray, Thought Scour, and then the rest. Untap this. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at the top. Evermind, Frantic Search, Detecting Probe, Opt. I don't even know what I want here, to be honest. I guess just Evermind gives us like so much card draw. Frantic Search, Detecting Probe, Opt. Untap this, yes. So now we can go Reach Through Mists, Placing Psychic Puppetry on a Boilerworks. Same targets. Untap the Boilerworks. Tap more Boilerworks. Untap the Boilerworks. Tap more Boilerworks. I guess at this point I'm going to Opt. Reach Through Mist is perfect. Always yes to this. I think we're just winning from here. Taxing Probe fills our hand. Glacial Ray is a win condition. Let's probe. Go down to 6. See what they're working with. Double Chancellor Forge, Geosurge, Seething Song. Yeah, they're in trouble. Same targets. Now we're just digging for a Frantic Search. I know I put a bunch on the bottom, but we're drawing like most of our deck here. Now we can Psychic Puppetry the Boilerworks. The thing is, our opponent knows about all of this. They're probably just letting us play this out. Let's untap. Mana. This untaps. We had mana. Untaps. We had mana. And now I think we can just go like Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry on here, Splicing Evermind, Splicing Glacial Ray on them, Glacial Ray on them. And that's one heck of a spell. Keep the card targets the same. We can grab. They sent me a message. Okay, I'll skip to that. GG's. Thank you for conceding. This game takes a bit to go off. We'll take a probe. Yeah, I mean, this deck, as soon as you assemble a Pyromancer Ascension, it's almost deterministic, I think. Just because well, you know, it depends on what's in your hand, but if you just have like a couple spells, like Psychic Puppetry pretty much guarantees you never run out of mana. It's so beautiful. See you guys next round. All right, we're played against Mild-Mannered Janitor again. I think I played against them before. Penny Dreadful's such a wonderful, close-knit community. His hand is slow, but we are on the play, so I'm going to keep it. It has all our mana in, like, if they're playing 2/2s, this hand is disgusting, because we're just going to go, like, Peer Through Depth, Splicing Glacial Ray, like, untapping things with Psychic Puppetry, winning the game. It's going to be dirty. I'm going to bottom that, because we're looking for... We have enough Psychic Puppetries, you really just want, like, 1 or 2. What we're really looking for is, like, obviously Pyromancer Ascension, more lands. I like seeing tapped lands. That means their deck's probably a bit slow. Like an Opt or Thought Scour would be pretty good here, but just doing the slow deck life. I think I will just round out a Naked Peer Through Depths turn 2, probably. I'm just gonna guess my opponent's playing Fires. Just a wild guess. Nope. Not Fires. Some type of Naya tapped lands aggro. Respectable. Given this, I think I'm just going to end up Glacial Raying the Experiment one. Untapped Island, yes. It's a lot of lands, but, I mean, look at this hand. We're going to find action. So if they play a creature, I think I do just kill this, because we can then Glacial Ray Peer Through Depths the following turn, and just the more turns I have, the better. If they just attack for 1, I'm just going to take it, though, because I don't want to run out of Glacial Ray, but I can if I need to. Ooh, okay. That explains these lands. They're playing Wildest and Nicotilist as well. Let's just kill this now. It is a 3/3. Moonlighting my face. I like it. Okay, so they're playing Domain Zoo or something like that. I could expect to see like a Tribal Flames. We can Psychic Puppetry the Wild Nicottle. We can do a lot of things. Probably just going to Peer Through Depths, tapping the Nicottle though. It seems like preserving my life total is at a premium here. Cast and Splice Puppetry, tapping this. The Psychic Puppetry as like a control element is so strong. I love that it does both. Like, that's insane. We have another Puppetry, Counterspell, or Reach Through Mist. Honestly, I think I want to Reach Through Mists. I love Counterspell, but I'm not too concerned about my opponent having like backbreaking spells this game. I've been wrong before though. Bronzehide Lion, sure. Just gains Indestructible. Moonlighting my face, I'm down to 14. That's still not the worst. This is a lot of bounce land though. I don't know how I feel about all of this. I guess we are Reach Through Mists, Psychic Puppetry, untaps my Boiler Works. No, I think I need Reach Through Mist. We're just gonna play this, play the Boiler Works. Hopefully draw a Frantic Search now. Pass turn. So I am gonna take a hit. Nothing I can do to stop that. Beginning of combat, I guess for mana efficiency, do this. Psychic Puppetry down the Nicottle. We take an Opt. Missing out on a Pyromancer Ascension again. Okay, Pride Mage is good. I can kill the Pride Mage. And this is kind of why we saved Reach Through Mists. I can go Reach Through Mists, Psychic Puppetry, Reach Through Mists, Psychic Puppetry, Glacial Ray, and then Opt, I guess. I guess I should Opt now. Definitely bottoming that. And Counterspell helps a bit. I think I still have to like tap down things begin combat, but I'm only taking 3 per turn. And this is just when it dies, it transfers. So beginning of combat, we Reach Through Mists, Psychic Puppetry, the Bronzehide, Glacial Ray, the Pride Mage. Okay, so that goes through. My opponent isn't certain how to view what this is targeting, and it is a little bit unclear, so sorry to my opponents, but I think it all shows up in the game chat. We're going to tap the lion. We kill their 2/2, we begin combat. We draw another land. Alright, now we want Frantic Searches. This is, it's a sizable number of lands. Hopefully they don't have another spell here. Okay, down to 8. We have Counterspell if they have like a Tribal Flame, so it's just a matter of time. We draw Thought Scour, so we're going to Peer Through Depths, Splicing Glacial Ray, Puppetry, and then casting Glacial Ray on Wild Nicottle, I guess? I lose my Glacial Ray, and then there's only 2 left in my deck, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Peer Through Depths, Splicing Glacial Ray, Puppetry, Glacial Ray. Okay. Okay, we'll try it. I guess I could just peer through depths here, splicing puppetry on the line. We don't want to kill the lion because they can give it indestructible. And we glacial raid the Nicodle. And I guess, ooh, I can even do this smart. I can glacial raid the Nicodle at end of turn. Although, that still puts me into Tribal Flames territory. Frantic Search, opt, Reach Through Mist. I guess I take a Frantic Search. Ah, Reach Through Mist is very good too. I think I need to take Frantic Search. This is an insanely good top 5 cards though. Tap the line, yes. 2 damage to the Nicodle. So, yeah, we're just gonna finish off the Nicodle here. They do have Magma Jet, okay. I think they know about the counter spell. We'll see how they scry, because I do have Thought Scour. Put 2 cards on top. Thought Scour. Oh, it feels good. Alright, let's Thought Scour them. See what they put on top. Shock makes sense. Yeah, I think at this point we're just gonna play a Dimir Aqueduct into a Frantic Search. Bouncing this island. I could discard these lands, I don't care too much. This is kind of the maximum value Frantic Search. Another Frantic Search, let's discard these 2. Untapping lands. We can opt. This is the brutal part when you don't have Pyromancer's Ascension. Spikefield Hazard, no. I mean, Glacial Ray helps. Let's probe, seeing what's in their hand. First Lightning, okay. There's the Ascension. So play this. And then I have all the things available that I need. In fact, I could try and go off right now, but I think I'm better off waiting here. Because I want to tap down the Bronzehide line. They do have lethal if I don't do that. Beginning of combat. 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's actually no good way for me to do this. So I guess I'm just going to Frantic Search. Always yes, always yield. Glad I killed the Qasali Pride Mage. Discard the Boiler Works. And part of me wants to discard Glacial Ray, but that seems bad. I'll discard Probe. Untapping these 3. And now I can peer through depths, splicing puppetry on the lion, and I guess Glacial Ray on their face. Still holding up Counterspell. So there's Evermind, Detecting Probe, Opt, Psychic Puppetry. I guess Opt is probably good enough. Then we want probably Probe, Evermind, Puppetry. We know the last card in their hand is Burst Lightning, so I can just opt here. They could Burst Lightning me down to 2, but that doesn't matter too much. Because we could just pay max mana for Gitaxian Probe, and that's fine. Let's always yes to this one to make the spells. And now we just opt for action. Spikefield Hazard, no. That's a lot of lands. Glacial Ray, I do like. But I think I just need to hit card draw here. Yikes. Super yikes. How many puppetries have I used? Not many. So I could just kill this now. Alright, we're gonna run this slow. Psychic Puppetry, Slicing Glacial Ray. This is gonna untap a Boiler Works. This kills that. Guess I could float mana, doesn't really need to, but that dies. They get the aura, doesn't do anything. I have double counterspell. I guess I play this Boiler Works because we're gonna bounce the Temple actually, because I would like to be able to scry here. I have double counterspell, a bunch of removal, so I think we should be safe. We're just gonna have to hold up counters like for the rest of the game. Shock my face. That was a good draw. We countered that though. They're also drawing live to Qasali Pride Mage, so this is not a good position to be in. Evermind. So the bottom card of my library is Glacial Ray. I technically can cast Evermind. Thought Scour is good. We'll do that. But if I do cast Evermind off Glacial Ray, then I have 1 Glacial Ray left in my deck to win with, which doesn't actually work because most of my arcane spells are like draw a card, so that would not be pretty. Thought Scour them. Land? 2 lands! Ah! Why? Frantic Search. There's 1 Frantic Search left and I put it near the bottom, right? 1, 2. So I will keep these lands in hand. This is really brutal though. I don't think I've ever flooded this badly. Opponent now has 2 cards in hand. They could be like all shocks and then I'm very dead. Come on! What the heck? Alright. They play the lion. That can gain indestructible. If they counter it, I think I just let that resolve. And then I have like one turn to go off. That seems fine. We're bound to hit something this turn. I mean, I have so much mana. Frantic Search. Second, Pyromancer's Ascension. Okay. I mean, I guess that means that we can win off of our Spike Field hazards, probably. Alright, let's Glacial Ray, Splicing, Evermind. Or wait. I don't even have Spike Field hazard in my graveyard? This is brutal. Alright, Glacial Ray, Splicing, Evermind, targeting them. I have to hit something here. Another Spike Field hazard. Come on, Jack, please. Oh, always yes to this one. Yep. Okay, there's a Thought Scour. Thought Scour you. Ascension is live now. Okay, there's Reach Through Mist. I need a Psychic Puppetry or Frantic Search, though. There we go. Now I can play my land, and now I think we're good to go. If they have... Alright, if they have Shock, I actually do lose to Shock, but I can't play around it, I don't think. Cast this on a Boiler Works. Never mind. Yeah, if they have Shock, I lose, but it is what it is. They actually have it? Alright, that's actually brutal. I couldn't play around it. I needed, like, there was no configuration of mana there that would let me have double blue. I maybe could have tapped more carefully. I'm not quite sure, but Sweltering Suns and Glitterbringer seem very good. So I'm like, post sideboard, I think this feels great. I don't really need counter spells. I'd rather be proactive in my removal. We're going to get rid of Evermind for a Treasure Cruise and get rid of Frantic Search because we're going to be a little bit more controlling this matchup. I could bring in Saheeli. She actually creates tokens that block most everything. They do have a lot of burn to deal with her. But yeah, they have Kasali Pride Mages, so I think we can't rely too much on Pyromancer's Ascension, and we can go into like Sprite Dragons. Because I'm imagining their deck has a ton of enchantment removal, so we're just gonna like win off of the other things. Frantic Search. I could go down to like one Frantic Search now. If I'm going this route, I do want a couple counter spells. We could put those in instead of... I think I'm going down to 0 Frantic Searches. We're just going for full control counter magic to like protect our Sprite Dragons. And I'll get rid of one Psychic Puppetry. They're good to tap down things, but you don't need that many. We'll run it like this. Alright, let's redeem ourselves. That was a fantastic series of bad draws, and this is a fantastically bad hand. Mulligan this. Okay, we can keep this one. A lot of Spike Field hazards, which have some utility, so I guess I get rid of a Temple. Play the Temple turn 1. Glacial Ray seems good. Alright, we gotta play quickly too. That was just so many lands that we drew. Okay, so we do get a Spike Field hazard the Loam Lion, and that's nice. Cast here. Play the Boiler Works. And that was just a land, like Spike Field hazard is so good. We can F6 through their turn now. The Lion is an issue. If they just hold up 3 mana, I guess I can tap it down, but otherwise it gets problematic. So let's go Temple. Psychic, yeah, that's the answer to the Lion. I actually don't want to opt unless I see something that scares me because, ugh. Yeah, I might just lose to a bunch of Bronze-Hide Lions. I guess at this point, I do want to opt because we lose the Scry, but it does just get us 1 card deeper. Draw another opt. At this point, I think I want to play this as a land and pass turn. I can Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry to tap down 1 Lion. This, Splicing this, tapping you. I could grab Evermind, but I think we're just gonna grab another Peer. Chain Lightning our face. Yeah, this is a pretty tough matchup. The burn makes it so they have inevitability. And like, here's the Ascension. We'll go for it. They probably have a way to kill it, but if they don't, it's good. We take 6. That's a lot of mana. First Lightning with Kicker, I go to 1. Okay. I guess they just wanted F6 equity. It's respectable. So we get to Peer Through Depths, which will trigger Pyromancers. Next turn I can opt, which will trigger Pyromancers, but I actually need to hit a blue source here. Reach Through Mists. Yeah, I'll put that into my hand. We want Glacial Ray, then the rest. Okay. Deck is really not cooperating today. I guess we're going to peer through depths, splicing psychic puppetry. That will untap our boiler works. Then we can get Pyromancer's Ascension, Glacial Ray. That actually probably works. Cast splicing this, targeting this. Yes, always yield. Smoldering Suns is fine, but I think I don't want them to know about it, and Reach Through Mist just also helps tremendously. Because they could just like untap and burn us out. Is not great. So now we get to go Glacial Ray, targeting them, placing Psychic Puppetry, untapping this. And now we can start going off, because now we're generating mana. Tap for sure, add blue, untap, add blue, and now I get to go Reach Through Mists, splicing the Puppetry. Because we kind of want to hit a land. I will always say yes to this as well. Tap, add blue, tap, add blue. There's another Boiler Works. Let's peer through depths with Puppetry now. We're kind of like blue locked actually, which is not a good position to be in targets. We can find another Ascension. I have 2 in my deck. I don't need Counterspell. There's the other Ascension. So we're really just digging for Glacial Ray. Add blue. Another Psychic Puppetry helps. The order, untap yes. And we had blue. So we can play this Boiler Works, and then I can like Psychic Puppetry splicing Psychic Puppetry to get more blue mana. Yeah, I think I like that. So this one's targeting the first Boiler Works. This one's targeting the second Boiler Works. So now we get up to 4 blue mana. Now we can opt. We're just looking for Glacial Ray again. The Healy is probably not good enough. Treasure Cruise works. Let's Reach Through Mists, splicing Puppetry. Untap yes. Oh gosh, Taxian Probe. Yeah, blue mana is a huge issue here. I think we can probably build up to a lethal Sprite Dragon. So we're going to cast that. Then I'm going to Treasure Cruise. They sent me a message. Let's go to 3. Okay. That's, yeah, I pretty much had this locked up. I was going to draw like 6 cards. Actually, that might have been a bit of a preemptive concession. I was very, very low on blue mana. I should never cut all of the Frantic Searches, I don't think. I think that's a bad idea, because I needed 1 Frantic Search there to turn 1 blue into like 6. Okay, sideboarding. They have Bronze-Hide Lion, a lot of burn. They saw the Sprite Dragon. I think I'm going to go down to 1 Glorybringer, because it's fine, but it doesn't quite help us. I like Saheeli still. Smoldering Suns is great. And on the draw, I think I cut 1 Counterspell. We'll keep the non-whiteboarded one. Run it like that. Well, this is definitely a hand. I have 4 minutes. Very considerate of the opponent to concede. I don't know if I was going to win or not, but it's respectful regardless. Because it, like, I most likely had that game, but it wasn't guaranteed. So we're going to land Spikefield Hazard here. Because that lets us Ascension turn 2 or just cast Spikefield Hazard on their creature. But we got to play quick. And I think we can get there. We could also play a Sprite Dragon if they took out all their burn. They correctly played Lone Lion, Wild Nikotl. I think I'm going to get risky and run out a Sprite Dragon here, because I'm going to need it to block if they don't have burn this turn, which they probably got rid of a lot of their burn. I should have attacked. I'm not blocking, but they do have burn still. Okay, that's bad. Yeah. I had to try it. Ooh, Saheeli's good. So we can go with Ascension, Boiler Works, bouncing an island, because I want untapped lands. Go. Take a good chunk of damage. They chain lightning my face. Go down to 7. And they... Okay, they exile my Ascension. I'm not too worried about that. Glacial Ray helps again. Let's land Saheeli, I guess. It's a little... Like, I have to play quickly, but if they swing out at Saheeli, I can Spikefield Hazard and then chump. And then Saheeli is active to start blocking things. Because she gains me life. And if they attack my face, I also think I just Spikefield Hazard here. And chump the 3/3. guess that's roughly equivalent. It puts me to 2. So if they just have burn, I do lose. So a rough situation. We get to go Ascension into Pierce Through Depths. I probably just die here, but it is what it is. We got to win quickly. Into Pierce Through Depths. Play Bounce Land. Bouncing Spikefield Cave. Pass turn. Double chump. Any removal spell kills us. Like, we're dead to so many things, but we can try. We can dream. We can hope. Okay, we don't appear to be dead. So now we just need to cast like 2 spells for the rest of the game. 3 spells for the rest of the game. Okay. What? You had Incinerate the whole time? Unacceptable. No, just kidding. This opponent, very nice opponent. Great playing against you. I can't reply because MTGO is dumb, but great games. See you guys next round. Oh, right, we're playing against Resra99. Let's go first. I'll keep this hand. Anything with Frantic Search Bounce Land is good. Like, the combo is good for so many reasons. First of all, you generate mana while doing it. Second of all, Bounce Lands, like, draw you cards effectively because, like, this one land taps for 2. So you can, like, return lands that were in play and then discard them. It's so good. Thanks for all the good videos the last few days. No problem. Ooh, and I'm on the play. Nice. That means I can play this Bounce Land and not have to discard the hand size. And then I'll have Glacial Ray reach through Miss Splice. Delver of Secrets. Okay. Well, hopefully that doesn't flip. I'm gonna play this Bounce Land. If they go Delver holding up Counterspell, it's not too bad because we get to go reach them as Splicing Glacial Ray and then just cast Glacial Ray. Reveal Opt. Okay. Given that they're tapped out, I'm gonna do this now. Because if they're smart, they probably won't opt end of turn. I don't know. I could have waited for them to opt at end of turn because I know they had it, but I don't think they're playing like Spell Pierce or anything. They put 1 card on the bottom. Okay. I need a counter spell actually. I don't feel too comfortable right now. We could actually go off though. We have Frantic Search double Bounce Land, so I did see a list that was like Hermit Druid Delver of Secrets. Maybe that's what's going on over there. I heard of crazier things. I think I do actually want to Frantic Search. So we're gonna go, is it Boiler Works? Frantic Search right now. Discarding. Ooh, there is a Pyromancer's Ascension. I don't have a counter spell. Discard these 2 lands. Untap these 3. Float an island. Return it to hand. So I could cast Pyromancer Ascension, but I am scared of them holding up counter magic here, so I think I will wait. And then depending on what they do, I can like Psychic Puppetry, Splicing Psychic Puppetry to tap down counter magic mana. Yeah, let's do that. Cast this. Actually, I think I could just go Glacial Ray, Splicing 2 Psychic Puppetries. That works even better. Tapwise Tunnel, tap this, yes. So now they're out of counter magic. We can land our Ascension. There's a couple options we have here. I think maybe the best one to start with is Frantic Search. Always yes, always yield to this. Discarding a Boiler Works. Do I want a second copy of Pyromancer's Ascension? I don't think I need it, but if they kill my Ascension, I'm gonna feel really sad. I don't think I need it. We untap these. Then we cast Psychic Puppetry, Splicing Psychic Puppetry on these 2, I guess. Untap the Boiler Works. Oh, I did that wrong. I was supposed to Glacial Ray Splicing Puppetry. Well, that's on me. They take damage, this untaps. Yeah, I should have had an extra Psychic Puppetry. That was just, for some reason I thought Psychic Puppetry was triggering my Ascension. Pierce Through Depths is perfect though. No Temple. Probe them, see what's going on. It gives me more info about their deck. They might concede to this as well. Okay, they do concede. I was going to draw Island, Counterspell, and then I was going to Pierce Through Depths, hitting Reach Through Mist, Glacial Ray, and then we'd win. Okay. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I think they're playing the graveyard-based Delver Hermit Druid deck, which I think I'm quite good against. We want Pyroclasm against Delver. I don't love having Counterspell too much. I think Counterflux is a decent answer, but especially on the draw, Counterspell is a bit slow and not the greatest thing. I like Spikefield Hazard against their deck quite a bit. Obviously, we're bringing in at least 1 copy of Glorybringer. So we're gonna go down on what do we go down on? I think one psychic puppetry, one frantic search. I guess I don't know for sure. I'll bring in 2 Nihil spell bombs, but they are like a dead draw if they're not playing some Hermit Druid nonsense, and I have quite a bit of removal. So until I see it, I think I'll wait on the spell bombs. I guess maybe Counterflux is too slow. It's like 3 mana versus Counterspell being 2. And then we can get rid of 1 Evermind. In fact, I could just get rid of both Everminds. I kind of like doing that and then bringing back a Frantic Search. Or putting in another Glory Bringer, actually. Let's do that. We're on the draw. This hand's very good if we can hit a land. We have the Ascension in hand. We have Probe. Like, we can turn on our Ascension very quickly. But we just have a red source right now. I do have Probe and 2... I'm going to try this. I don't know. This is probably bad. Uh-oh. Let's Probe. See what our fate is. Opt Spell Pierce. So it is the Hermit Druid deck. Okay, so they're going to cast turn 2 Hermit Druid and have Spell Pierce up. So I have Island. So I could just Glacial Ray the Hermit Druid. So let's actually play this out. Past turn. That does tell them that I have things that are going on. They're going to probe and know what's in my hand too. So then they don't play Hermit Druid. And then I just jam Pyromancer's Ascension turn 2 most likely. This is the spicy brew though. You get all the benefits of Hermit Druid with... I mean, you're like a much slower Delver deck because you're running Rimewood Falls and things like that, but not the end of the world. So they play Ice Tunnel, which is something they didn't have before. Ooh, and we draw a Spikefield Hazard. So, do I want to get my Pyromancer Ascension Spell Pierced is the real question here. I don't think so, but I can always find more. Actually, I can play around Spell Pierce. Let's wait. They do play around Catacomb, then Hermit Druid. So end of turn, I think I'm going to just Glacial Ray this. Because they know about that. They Spell Pierce the Glacial Ray, and then if I can draw an untapped land, I can Pyromancer Ascension. Okay, this works too. We just kill this. It also exiles the Hermit Druid, which is quite nice. Play... I guess I do want to opt. I'm not going to draw... I don't have Counter Magic available, so... But we don't have to worry about Post-Mortem Lunge. Here through Depths. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That'll help us Pyromancer Ascension quicker. So we only know 2 of their cards, and they're playing Opt, so we know most of the things left. We'll see how they opted as well. They bottomed. They play the Coast. So they have 4 unknowns. They drew another? Okay, let's reach through Mist. This is getting worse. I should have gotten my Pyromancer Ascension Spell Pierced, I guess. We can Frantic Search. Okay, and then we can Spikefield Cave the Hermit Druid. Yeah, that works. I kind of want to discard a Pyromancer Ascension. Let me think about this. No, let's just discard these 2 lands. Tap these. Add red. Bounce our Spikefield Cave. Playing around Spell Pierce. Cast this. Nice. So we didn't get the Pyromancer Ascension activation, but we have exiled 2 Hermit Druids. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident. You can see what's going on. Hardcast Narcomoeba, you love to see it. Opponents fighting all they can. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Pyroclasm, Reach Through Mist. I'll take Reach Through Mist. I do like Pyroclasm, but Reach Through Mist lets me turn on Pyromancer's Ascension easier. Let's cast this. Guess we can opt for a land. Do I want another Boiler Works? I guess I just want spells at this point. Yeah, Frantic Search is fine. Let's pass turn. I don't want to use too many spells if they have a natural order to kill my Pyromancer's Ascension. Alright, let's Reach Through Mists. Oh, they do have a natural order. Maybe. No, okay. So let's play our second Pyromancer Ascension. I guess at that point I can Frantic Search. Guard Boiler Works Island, untap these. Always say yes to this one. I kind of want to Peer Through Depths now because I'm going to double trigger and I'll have better cards to discard, so let's do that. I said, I guess that's GG. Most likely. Yeah, this is pretty much GG. Nice playing against you. Nice playing against you as well, Rezra99. Again, at least it's an improvement over the standard Hermit Druid deck, because they have other game plans like Delver. So I like seeing that, but I'm just really suggesting people play less Hermit Druid. It's not very interactive. Every time I've had Graveyard Hate, it's been not too bad. Anyway, see you guys next round. Oh, the other thing I recommend, pack Graveyard Hate so we can, make this deck not as viable. See you guys next round. Alright, so that's gonna close out the league. It's kind of weird they reset the league, so I played like half of one and half of another, but I played 5 rounds in total. We went 3-2, and our losses were extraordinarily close. Like, we were so close to winning those, and I think it was mostly just misplay. So my takeaway is, I think this deck is fantastic. I love the deck. The biggest downside is just how difficult it is to play. I wouldn't recommend just like picking up this deck and just jamming it. You're probably going to lose pretty hard. You got to make some pretty crafty sideboarding game plans and things like that, like knowing when to take out the Ascension. Honestly, I think just taking out Ascension most of the time is like not too bad. You can win without any, like, Glacial Ray Splice. You have enough damage to kill your opponent, so you don't even need like a Sprite Dragon to win. So even if they take your Ascensions, you're fine. I would just recommend, if you want to play this deck, spend some time practicing it, because it's very, very, very complicated. But once you do, it's very rewarding. The counter spells, I think, gives it a whole nother dimension of interactivity, because you can like now counter them killing your Pyromancer's Ascension, which is something you couldn't do before. I love the deck. I don't think there's anything I would change. I don't think. It feels great as it is. So yeah, I'm going to keep running it and see you guys there.